drives me to action, or one of the biggest things, is quite frankly, Jesus calls us to love our neighbor. And there's a lot of people that aren't doing that right now. I grew up Christian. I fell out of it for a while, and I came back into it, and I realized that I didn't have to be Christian in the hateful way that I was taught growing up.
I've been politically conscious since I was in 5th grade. That's when Trump first started running for president, and me and my friends, we were all talking about it as 5th graders because I grew up in a low-income neighborhood.
To do, especially right now, because so many of our systems are so broken and not functioning in a way that is going to be beneficial to us as people. So like for one example, if we were to talk about homelessness, we can't address that properly if we don't first fix the criminal justice system, the healthcare system. There are so many things that go into that: housing, affordability, access to food. So I think it's really hard to pinpoint one thing that is important to us. We kind of just need to work together and find solutions to these systemic barriers to everything that we need to improve everybody's lives and to prioritize the needs and the desires of the people instead of, again, who's giving our politicians their check at the end of the day.
We've seen an historic rollback of just society's priorities of actually being able to offer services that actually help working class people, from seeing Social Security try to be stripped away, see healthcare be stripped away. I think continuously that what MAGA has been so effective at is dividing the working class internally to actually put up issues like trans, and to put up issues like all these complete BS situations that people say are happening, like in our schools with DEI, to further use that to gut public education, which is really the bedrock of community wealth and community.
And so I didn't pay for my bachelor's degree, and I was able to get scholarships, and still going to get my master's cost me $80,000, and I am a social worker, and so that's a lot of money to then have to be paying that back, and the interest rates, and you feel like you are taking the steps that you're supposed to take, and that everybody sells you on this American dream, and that doesn't exist in that format anymore. I think also we are very disconnected, and so it is very polarized. Continuing to talk about that, fighting against the working class and pitting different people against each other, and how do we get various minorities to argue with each other about who has it worse, what is the biggest issue, and understanding that ultimately this benefits the people in charge. For us to be arguing with each other instead of looking at what is the real issue, what is actually causing these systems to exist, and they are in place on purpose to keep people in cycles of poverty, to keep people at the bottom and not be able to reach the top, while still being sold the idea that if they do everything right, then eventually they'll be able to get up there. And ultimately, you see career politicians that are continuing to promise the same thing. I think talking about Roe v. Wade, or even the immigration issue, these are issues that everybody runs on and says they're gonna fix, and then nobody does. And they have had the opportunity to. They intentionally don't do it so that they can continue to run on these issues, so that they can continue to be reelected while people continue to suffer because nothing ever gets fixed. And so I think that's always really concerning, of this feeling like no matter what, these are things that people at the top aren't affected by directly, and so it doesn't matter if they fix them or not, because it won't change their lives.
It's just seeing young people in spaces, because every day you hear older generations say, young people are the future, young people are the future. But then there's no move to get young people more involved in politics. It's kind of young people are the future, and then you push them aside, and then you go get these other people to vote for you that are the older generations. It's okay, so you're saying young people are the future, but you're doing nothing to help them grow in the political space. And I think a lot of political opportunities are not presented. For me to get involved politically, I had to go look for it. I applied to so many positions. I had to really find something for me, when it shouldn't be that hard, when there's so many issues that so many people care about, and there's so many ways to get involved. And people say all the time, oh, you can go knock doors for this candidate, or you can make phone calls for this, but how do you initially get involved with that? It's hard to get involved in these political spaces, especially when you're a young person going into a room with much older faces. Sorry guys. And it's intimidating because no one talks to you. As a person, when I was first starting out, nobody talked to me. A lot of people, and it's not even that people knew each other, it's a lot of people didn't know each other, but they saw me and they kind of brushed me off to the side. They'd come up to me and they'd be like, it's so great that you're here, and then they'd walk away from me and not really include me in these conversations. It's okay, you want me to be involved, you want my vote, but you're not doing anything to get my vote, and you're not inspiring me to really want to vote for you. And it's we see a lot in local elections too, which are very important for young people as well. It's most times young people turn out for federal elections, they turn out for presidents, which is great, we want them to do that. But they don't know that the local ones impact them so much, like school bonds and overrides that we were just talking about that just happened. Like that is literally what affects young people the most, is getting public education, as a lot of people go into public education. So it's just like going out and scouting young people and like understanding that we are powerful, but you also have to be engaging us more, because a lot of us want to get involved, we just don't know how to.